And for more on Team USA, we're excited to welcome the managing director and chairman of USA Basketball, Jerry Colangelo, to SportsCenter. Jerry, that is awfully high praise from a Hall of Fame coach. What stood out to you about Derrick Rose?
Well, it's deserving, Kevin, because he's come from so far back. When you think about it, the limited amount of time he's been on the court over the last 2 years, for him to show up in the shape that he was in, having explosiveness that you question before camp whether or not he would have it, and he's playing with great intensity, explosiveness, and Jimmy Boeheim is pretty much on the mark here regarding just how good he looks at this point.
His NBA coach, Derrick Rose's NBA coach, Tom Thibodeau, has said the biggest challenge for Derrick is showing more patience and finding the rhythm of the game. Jerry, what's it like conveying that message to an NBA MVP?
Well, it's difficult at best, without question, but you know, teaching patience to someone who lives in a different gear in life, you know, in terms of his speed, explosiveness, etc., is challenging. But Derrick loves this game. He plays it with passion, and it's kind of like a stallion. You have to control a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be able to make that adjustment.
Derrick Rose excluded, Jerry. Who's the one player you've seen so far who has surprised you?
Well, in terms of surprises, I wouldn't say anyone has popped up as a surprise. We know these people very well. You know, we follow them for years. And so we get exactly what we expected, but it's good to see certain development, evolution, if you will. I think of Anthony Davis when I'll start with that, because here's a guy who has the sky as a limit in terms of his future, and what he's done in just 2 years in terms of maturity. He's added 20, 25 pounds. He's much stronger. This guy excites you because you can just see him being an immense, big-time player in the future in the NBA, but he'll be a big factor for us this summer.
He was a part of the 2012 Olympic team, now on the 2014 team, we presume. You've said you understand Kevin Love's situation, that a player who's involved in trade talk and ultimately likely a $100 million plus extension would decline an invitation to play this summer. You've also, Jerry, talked about how participating in tournaments like this will help players' chances of making the Olympic team. Specific to Love or LaMarcus Aldridge, how will their absence from this event impact the way you evaluate them for the 2016 Olympic team?
First of all, Kevin, I keep the door open on every player. It would be foolish to close that same door under those kinds of circumstances. But we take each case one by one. I know where Kevin Love's heart is. He wanted to be here with us in the worst way. He just about broke down when he called me. When he advised me, he's been advised he shouldn't play because of his circumstances. That'll all come out in the wash within 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And so you need to honor that. You know, circumstances prevent players from participating, but I'll deal with that on a one-on-one basis.
Okay, fair enough. 2010, Jerry, even the 2012 Olympics, I know you, Coach K, the staff spent time impressing upon Kevin Durant the idea that he needed to be more selfish, look for his shot more because the team needed that. How would you describe his approach or role with this team through 3 days?
Well, he needs to be the leader without question. It's not necessarily in his nature, you know, in terms of being a voice. It needs to be by performance. And as I think back to the 2010 World Championship season, he was just incredible. I mean, everyone looked to him because he was automatic in terms of scoring, and needless to say, what he's accomplished over the last couple of years in the NBA and an MVP says it all. So he's a great scorer. his game really lends itself to the international game in this case because he gets all kinds of shots. And if he gets enough attempts, he's going to score big.
Well, we look forward to seeing Kevin Durant and the rest of Team USA and the rest of the world teams in action at the FIBA World Cup of Basketball. It's got a new name this time around. You'll see the bulk of the games here on the ESPN family of networks. USA Basketball Managing Director and Chairman Jerry Colangelo, thanks so much for joining us tonight on SportsCenter.